YouTube? Your favorite commentator's favorite commentator. Yeah. What's up, people? What's happening? You already know the deal. If you missed my last video, the link will be down in the description. So make sure you go check it out. Yeah, y'all know all that good shit. What's up, people? What's happening? So this is going to be my review. My review for Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and it will be spoilers. So, spoiler alert! I'm warning you right now, and if you haven't finished the game and whatnot, then you might want to leave the video right now, because I will be talking about the story, and there will be spoilers. I repeat, there will be spoilers. So, like I said, if you haven't completed the game, then you might want to leave the video right now. Other than that, you've been warned. Alright, so we're going to talk about my review of Uncharted 4. Now, I want to let you know that I did beat the game twice. Count them. 1, 2 motherfucking times. I did beat the game 2 times. I did beat it on crushing. The legitimate way, and I'm about to show y'all, because if anybody has played this game, it lets you know how each chapter was completed. So if you use lock on aim, it will let you know when you go to chapter select. It'll let you know the highest challenge level completed, and it'll let you know if you use lock on aim. So if you want to find out who really beat the game and if they did it in a legitimate way, they can definitely prove it by going to their chapter select. So as you can see, as I scroll down, you will never see lock on aim appear. You dig? Because I don't need it. You know what I mean? When I say I'm a seasoned gamer, that's what I mean. It's no fraud shit like a lot of these big YouTubers that be claiming they've been gaming for years, but yet they playing Uncharted with lock on aim. Like, are you fucking serious? Not only are you playing on normal, but you're using lock on aim? Like, damn. Fuck? How easy do you need the game to be? You seasoned gamer, you veteran. Fuck out of here, these goddamn frauds. Alright, so, alright, let's get into it. So I'm doing this live because I ain't feel like doing all that extra shit. You know what I mean? I really don't even feel like doing this right now. But I was like, let me go ahead and get this shit out the way. I just don't give a fuck about YouTube, really. That's why my videos be so far in between, because, you know, it's just whatever, man. You know what I mean? My type is not accepted around this motherfucker. You dig? Somebody that's going to keep it 100, that's not on no fanboy shit or none of that. I seem to be the last of a dying breed. You dig? Y'all want motherfuckers that's going to lie to you, tell you all types of shit, how they've been veteran gamers for years. Y'all want all these extra pretty videos. I ain't got time for all that. I ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like to do my reviews as if I'm talking to regular people. As if I'm talking to real people. I do my reviews as if I'm standing on the corner talking to a couple of fucking homies. That's how I do my reviews. I don't like to do my reviews and sound like I'm talking to a bunch of drones on a fucking assembly line. You dig? I like to give y'all real feelings from a real gamer. Can't handle it? Alright, you can bounce. Alright, so I'm going to be playing this while I'm doing this live. And, I don't know where to start from. I guess I'll start right here. Fuck it. I am going to put it on Explorer difficulty just so I can... Because I'm not going to be really focusing on the game while I'm talking. But I've already beat it on crushing, as y'all seen, without lock on aim. I'm just putting it on this difficulty because I'm really not trying to play the game. But since I'm doing it live, there has to be some type of background going on while I'm doing this. So that's why I gotta have it. Alright, so, where do we start? Okay, let's just get the fucking obvious out the goddamn way. The graphics, right? We all know that the graphics are fucking amazing. You know what I mean? This is definitely one of the best looking games that we have on this generation to date. You know what I mean? The graphics are gorgeous. But in all honesty, they're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be great. It is the, you know, quote unquote next generation, right? So they are supposed to look good. At this point in time, we shouldn't really be blown away by how the graphics look because they're supposed to look good. You know what I mean? It's just so happened that a lot of these developers are some lazy pieces of shit, I guess. I don't know. But, you know, most games should look this good. And let me know if the game volume is too fucking loud so I can turn that. Actually, I'm not even looking at the comments. But let me know if the game volume is too loud. Let me look at these comments real quick. If you can just let me know that real fast if the game volume is too loud so I can turn it down. I got it turned down to like 5. So, just let me know. You did. So,
what are we looking for out here?
Well, the map shows all these
if you buy Overwatch, will I try it? I don't want that shit. All right, the volume is good. All right, cool. Y'all can hear me loud and clear. All right, cool. All right, so let's talk about the graphics. So we all know that the graphics are top fucking notch, right? They're supposed to be. This is next gen. If developers really take their time and really, you know, perfect their art, a lot of games would look like this. You know what I'm saying? But that just doesn't seem to be the case. But Naughty Dog, they do. So the graphics are good. So we can get the fucking obvious out the goddamn way. We already know the game look good. No need to spend a whole lot of time on that. Alright, so moving on. As far as the gameplay goes, it's Uncharted. You know what I'm saying? The shooting is pretty good. The combat is good. The controls are good. You know, things like that. All that is good. Everything that you need to be good to enjoy a game is fucking good. You know what I'm saying? Graphics, controls, the shooting mechanics, the responsiveness. It can get a little tricky with the roll button because the roll button is also the stick to cover button. You know what I mean? Sometimes that can fucking act up, but that's what happens when you got two different functions tied to one button. You did? But other than that, the game is cool. You know what I'm saying? I really want to talk about the story. This is really what I want to talk about. Now, I beat the game twice. The first time I played the story, I think I had rose-tinted glasses on. Yes, I think a lot of people have rose-tinted glasses on right now when it comes to the story part of the game. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people are really just looking at the graphics go a long way with a lot of people in their thoughts of Uncharted 4. You know what I'm saying? Because when you really start to look at this story, the story to me feels very forced, and it's not the story we should have got. I wish Amy would have continued the story because I like Uncharted told from Amy perspective more than Neil and the other guy. You know what I'm saying? I like the story being told from Amy's perspective. I feel like this whole brother shit was forced. At least that's what it feels like to me. Once again, this is my opinion on the subject. This is my opinion. I feel like the story is forced with this whole brother shit because I feel like Drake, he never had a brother. You know what I'm saying? For 3 games, he's never had a brother. I mean, 4 if you count the Vita. I never played the Vita, so I'm just talking about the console games. For 3 games, he's never had a brother. Never mentioned his brother at all. You know what I'm saying? And the way they portrayed his brother, him and his brother's relationship in this game, these dudes were pretty close. You know what I mean? Drake really cared about his brother. So to like never mention the brother at all, ever, it just seems like out of place to me. I mean, even Sully never mentioned the brother, and Sully knew Sam. According to this story of Uncharted 4, Sully knew who Sam was. He never mentioned the brother. So I'm trying to figure out, did Drake go to Sully at one point in time and was like, hey, never ever bring up my brother ever again, or some shit like that. Like, you know, what's the reason for Sully never mentioning Sam? You know what I mean? Now,
Let's go check out that tower.
so I feel like this story was forced. Of course, this is not the story that we were supposed to get from Amy. And that's the problem I got with this story. Because once I played it the second time, I was bored. I'm sorry. I was fucking bored. I was skipping cutscenes on my second playthrough. I've never done that with an Uncharted game. Never done that with Uncharted 2 or 3. I only played through part one, excuse me. I only played through part one time. You know what I mean? But 2 and 3, I played through multiple times. Never have I skipped a fucking cutscene. Uncharted 4, I was skipping cutscenes the second time through. I was fucking bored with this story, yo. Like, and I think you would probably only get what I'm saying if you played all of the Uncharted games. If you played all the Uncharted games, if you played and loved the Uncharted games the way I did, as far as the story goes, then you probably understand what I'm saying when I say that this story, I just felt a little bit disconnected because I felt like the story was forced and it was just shoehorned in at the last minute. Remember, they scrapped 8 months of Amy's work. Remember that? Amy had put in 8 months worth of work on Uncharted 4 and they scrapped it and started all over. You know what I mean? So I feel like when they started all over, it was just some, you know, real, I mean, being that Neil and them are good at telling stories, they were able to put something together, and it definitely sounds very convincing, this story, as if Sam, the way they did it, it does sound very convincing as, you know, Sam was around through all this time, but when you really think about it, no. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't. For one, you got the whole thing with the rope, right? Sam knew how to use this rope shit since he was a kid. And the whole rope thing that they got going on now in Uncharted 4, you use it a lot. It's very helpful. And in all of these other fucking adventures, you know, Nate never thought to use this rope. Just now, he used the rope. Wow, because Sam is back now and the rope is important. Why wasn't it important in the last 3 or 4 if you played the, you know, the portable? Why wasn't it important then? This rope, just out of nowhere, right? He been had this ability to use this rope, which is very helpful. Also, Sam is a piece of shit. Like, I don't know if people realize this, but Sam is a piece of shit. He's a fuck nigga. If you really look at the story, Sam is a fuck nigga. He a piece of shit. All right. So,
What's the play here, Nathan?
Sam was, they were in jail or whatever like that. They tried to escape out of jail, and Sam was shot during his escape because he couldn't make this fucking amateur jump, you know, when they were escaping. They had one more jump to go, you know what I mean? One more small gap that was in between them and freedom, and Sam didn't make the jump. Oh shit, hold on, lock on aim is on. Let me at least turn that off. Sam did not make the, where's the lock on aim at? Oh, it's here. Sam did not make the jump. This fucking amateur jump between a gap that was, in between them and freedom, right? Even Rafe made the jump. And Rafe is not one to be known for fucking, you know, being able to climb and do all this shit. Sam is the one that taught fucking Drake, you know what I mean, how to traverse the environment. So, you know, Sam missed this fucking amateur jump that even Rafe made. So, you know, he was hanging and then he got shot and, you know, he fell unconscious and Drake couldn't hold him up no longer and he dropped him, right? So, bam, life went on. Drake thought Sam was dead, life went on. Somehow, Rafe found out that Sam was still alive and he went and got Sam out of jail. Now, the reason why I say Sam is a piece of shit because First of all, he double-crossed Rafe, right? And they never really explain why he double-crossed Rafe. Basically, he just said some shit like, oh, you don't deserve this treasure. But he never went in depth on why he felt like Rafe didn't deserve the treasure, right? So it's like, well, why the fuck you deserve it and he doesn't? Like, you know, they never explained that. So he double-crossed Rafe, who got him out of prison after 15 odd years, or 13 years really. And then on top of that, he went and he lied to Drake. You know what I'm saying? He basically lied to Drake and uprooted him out of his life, right? And that shows that Sam actually ain't give a fuck about Drake. For real, because Sam was on the street for 2 years before he decided to reach out to Drake. And he only reached out to Drake because he knew that he needed Drake to find the treasure and that he wouldn't be able to do it with Rafe. You know what I'm saying? He knew that. He knew Rafe wasn't skillful enough when it came to finding this fucking treasure, and he needed Drake. So after 2 years, he decides to, you know, reach out to his brother and come up with this elaborate story of how he was, you know, in prison and he had this drug cartel in his cell and blah, blah. Y'all know, if you play the game, you know the fucking story. So, he came out of nowhere. He straight lied to fucking Drake. You know what I mean? Uprooted him out of his life and put him back into danger. All because of him wanting to find some fucking treasure. Now, at the same time, he could have got Drake killed over this bullshit. Lied to his brother, took his brother out of his nice life, and almost got him fucking killed over this dumb shit. Right? But he cared about his brother. You know what I mean? That's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that he cared about his fucking brother after being on the streets for 2 years, never saying anything to Drake. I mean, during the Madagascar scene, he make it seem like he tried to reach out to Drake, but he just couldn't get a letter to him because the guard that was going to do it for him, you know, he got caught or whatnot. But then it doesn't explain. He never explained how he was on the street for 2 years and never reached out to Drake. Like, he could have reached out to Drake if he wanted to, but he didn't. Because at the time, he didn't give a fuck about Drake. All he was trying to do was find this fucking treasure. You feel me? So, what type of relationship did they really have? That's why I feel like this story was it's just all over the place. Fucking Drake never really showed that he had a problem with Sam over this shit. I mean, he like pushed him away a little bit, but he got over it real fucking quick. And it's like, yo, Sam lied to you. He was on the streets for 2 years, never reached out to you, and basically only did this shit because he needs you now. And like, you're not even really mad over this shit. And then, let alone Elena should have really been pissed. She should have fucking hated Sam. She didn't even hate Sam. Like, they were just friendly and just giddy. And it's like, yo, do you realize what this man has done and you don't have a problem with this? Like, nobody got a problem with this. He's okay, huh? It's like, yo, this is fucking crazy. You should be pissed of what Sam did. But they never really touch on that, right? They never touch on that at all. Also, I feel like that once you play it the second time through, I feel like you can really start to feel like this game is, I think it's a good game. You know what I'm saying? I agree it's a good game, but do I feel like it's a 10 or anything like that? Nah, I don't think it's a 10. It's actually not even my favorite Uncharted game. I would have to put this at like number 3. I would go Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, and then this game. You know what I'm saying? And that's just for the simple fact of how I feel about the story. I feel like the story is okay, but I was bored as fuck the second time through. the first time, of course, I was cool. You know what I mean? It was the first time, and you know, I was trying to get, you know, I wanted to see what the story was all about. So, of course, the first time I didn't skip no cutscenes. I never felt bored or anything like that. It wasn't until the second time where I just was like, yo, this story is, it ain't really connecting that well. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole thing is bullshit. It's like, you know, the thing about these Uncharted games that fucks me up is they go through all of this shit to find these treasures. And then when they find the fucking treasures, it's just like, okay, we found it, now let's just go home. You know what I mean? It's like we go through all of this, and then when we find the treasure, they just leave it, like leave it behind. And I just think that's dumb. Like, that's stupid. Like, they went through all that in this game. They find the treasure, and it's just like, oh, all right, fuck it. We know where the treasure at. We're not gonna get a crew come back and get it. You know what I mean? We're just gonna leave it there, leave it unattended. Even though we went through all this work, risk our lives to try to fucking find this shit. Like, I don't be getting that shit, dog. You know what I mean? Like, at least show something. At least show somebody having some interest of wanting to, like, go back and get the treasure or something like that. Just don't fucking go through all this bullshit, find it, and just be like, oh, all right, fuck it, I'm cool. I found it. That was good enough for me. You know what I mean? I just wanted to find a treasure, and then I feel better, and we can go about our business. Like, I just don't get that shit. You know what I mean? I mean, Sam did take a couple coins, but I'm saying as far as, like, from Drake's perspective, like, he never, like, really shows no interest after he finds these fucking treasures and shit. Like, you don't want to take nothing? You don't want to take a little bit? You don't want to take as much as you can carry, at least? Nothing? Like, what the fuck? What was all this for? What was this whole big adventure for to just get these fucking treasures and just leave them? Also, you can feel a lot of The Last of Us in this game. You know what I mean? And I don't think that works for an Uncharted game. Like, there's a lot of moments where there's slow walking, and you know, you could feel The Last of Us fingerprints all on this game, of course, because it's, you know, it's done by the same people that did The Last of Us. I think Neil Druckmann and the other guy, mainly Neil Druckmann, I think his style of storytelling works better for a game like Last of Us. Because the whole slow walking shit, like, I'm also playing The Last of Us right now, right? Because I wanted to play through it again. And,
Looks like Shoreline found something. Go slow.
and you know, the slow walking scenes, they feel right for The Last of Us. Like, they work for The Last of Us. The slow walking scenes don't necessarily work on an Uncharted game. You know what I mean? It didn't really translate as good as they probably would have liked it to. So I think that's another thing I missed about Amy style of Uncharted, because she did Uncharted the way that we like. You know what I mean? She handled Uncharted the way we like. Neil Druckmann tried to implement Uncharted from his perspective of, like he did with The Last of Us, and I don't think that really worked 100%. I mean, it ain't bad. It wasn't like, you know, super bad or anything like that. I just feel like that style of gameplay works better for The Last of Us rather than Uncharted, because there is a lot of downtime in this game that you might not necessarily be accustomed to when it comes to an Uncharted game. So I think they should have left most of that Last of Us shit on The Last of Us. You know what I mean? I mean, you got the optional conversations and all of that shit. Like, that's not an Uncharted thing, man. That's a Last of Us thing, and that's cool. Leave it there. Uncharted got its own identity. I feel like a lot of The Last of Us was mixed into Uncharted, and it didn't work as good as you might have wanted it to, in my opinion. It wasn't nothing bad, like terrible or anything like that. It just, you know,
How are you still alive?
you get the point.
Well, he wasn't quite the man he is.
But
Still working.
you know, I'm definitely excited for what they probably going to do with The Last of Us 2 and all that, because I think that's where they shine. But I think they with Uncharted, I think we need Amy back. You know what I mean? Because I do think listen, there's going to be another Uncharted, right?
Can't tell.
It might not be with Drake. You know, Drake's story
Keep moving.
is over. But
Little out of place.
Uncharted will continue. I don't think Uncharted is over by a long shot. All right, because at the end of the game, we found out that he has a daughter, and she's into the same type of shit he's into. You know what I mean? Now, and I'm thinking they got some single-player DLC coming. That single-player DLC might be from Sam's perspective, because at the end of the game, Sam goes off to handle some business with Sully. So we might get that story and what they go do, or we might get something from the daughter perspective. That's what I think. Or we're going to get another Uncharted that's going to feature the daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Drake's story is over. You know what I mean? A thief's end. His end is over. But you can best believe that Uncharted is probably going to continue. And it just might be from his daughter perspective if she's not in the DLC. Or his daughter could be in the DLC and her perspective is being set up for the following games. I don't know. That's just my guess. So we'll have to see how that Uncharted is praised for the attention to detail, and they do have some amazing attention to detail in this game. And it's funny because when you point out certain shit, it's funny because, the fanboys, they hype up the attention to detail when it's in their favor. But then when you point out certain shit, then they say it doesn't matter. Oh, who cares about that? Who's paying attention to that? Like, for instance, you see this fucking cart? Well, the wheels don't roll. The wheels don't roll on this cart. Now, I know some of you right now are saying, who even cares about shit like that? Y'all already know, when it comes to attention to detail, I'm into it. That shit can make or break a game for me. You know what I mean? The more attention to detail, the more likely I am to enjoy said game, right? So the wheels not rolling might not mean shit to y'all. Some of y'all probably right now, who cares about that? But then, again, last week you probably was talking about, you can see the cartilage on Nate's ear. You know what I mean? Last week you was talking about how great the attention to detail is. But now when you point some shit out now, and it's like, well, who cares? The fucking wheels don't roll on this cart. To me, that's bullshit. Something so fucking basic as that, they have you can see the cartilage in his ear, but they don't have the wheels rolling on the fucking cart. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? How could you pay so much attention to detail in one area, but then completely miss it in another? I just don't fucking get that. The fucking wheels don't roll, man. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Some people right now might be like, oh, who cares? Nobody pays attention to that. Well, nobody's paying attention to cartilage in his fucking ear either. Because first of all, you got to be positioned right with the light shining through the window to even see the shit. So, nobody's paying attention to that. But that's something to brag about and talk about. But we can't talk about these wheels not rolling though, right? Come on, man. Like, that's what I be saying, man. These motherfucking fanboys, boy. I mean, one instance, everything is okay. The next, shut up. Who cares? Like, that shit funny to me. And that's why I say, like, a lot of people was talking about how much detail is in this game, attention to detail, but I was trying to tell people, like, it still doesn't hold a candle to GTA 5. Like, no game holds a candle to GTA 5 when it comes to attention to detail. And I had linked the articles showing people exactly what I mean. You know what I mean? About the attention to detail that goes into a Grand Theft Auto game compared to any other fucking game. But, people had them rose-tinted glasses on, so Uncharted is the best game that ever... When it comes to attention to detail, Naughty Dog has done it the best. Like, no, they haven't. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, GTA 5 is a last generation game. Let's not forget that. So we just wait till GTA 6 come out, then we'll see. But yeah, it's just small shit like that. I mean, there's some other things that I noticed. You know what I mean? For instance, the part where you're getting dragged. You know, and that's another thing. That's another thing. I don't understand who was responsible at Naughty Dog for showing that gameplay at E3. Because that's clearly one of the best moments in the fucking game that they should have never shown until people played it. People should have been surprised by that scene. Imagine if you did not see that scene at E3 and you played the game and that scene came up. Nigga, you would have been blown the fuck away. You'd have been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? You would have been going crazy if you would have seen that for the first time and you didn't know that was coming. Who was behind showing that? Who agreed like, hey, at E3 we're going to show the best fucking sequence in our game. We're going to show it now. Damn near a year fucking early. We're going to let everybody see this amazing sequence in this game that should have been kept for people to see it for the first time when they played the game. Like, that's the best sequence in the game, and they decided to spoil that shit before you even play the game. It's like, why? Why would you do that? If anything, you could have showed the clock tower with the bell. You could have showed that off if you wanted to show off a nice big set piece. You could have showed that off. Why would you show the best sequence of your game off like that? Who was responsible for that? They need to be fired. They need to be on timeout. They need to be fired or some shit like that. Like, seriously. I still can't get over that part. I still can't get over how they ruined the best sequence of the fucking game. Who the fuck was behind that? Why would you do that? It makes no sense. That is literally the best part in the game. And there's other good parts. There's other good moments, you know, with the tower coming down and all of that shit, and the bell section. Great moments. But I don't know who was behind that. They should be fired. Or they should at least be on suspension for about 2 weeks with no pay. Straight up. Whoever idea that was. Matter of fact, whoever agreed to that shit. First of all, whoever idea it was, they need to be dealt with. And if you agreed to that shit, you need to be dealt with. If you was like, yeah, that'll be a great scene to show. Yeah, let's show our best scene in the whole game. Dumb. Straight dumb. All right, but anyway, during that scene, if you look at the bad guys that are riding the dirt bikes don't cast any tracks. You see how when it's truck riding, you see how the Jeep has tracks because we're riding through mud and shit like that. Well, that whole scene, you're like riding through mud, and the dirt bikes don't cast any tracks. Yeah, man. I know some of y'all don't care. I mean, you care about attention to detail at sometimes, but right now you're probably thinking, who cares? I do. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to brag about it at one point, you should brag about it all. And, yeah, dirt bikes are riding through mud, and they make no tracks whatsoever. I don't know how that was missed in post-production, or whatever, but, or if it was cut on purpose. I don't know, but, yeah, that fucking sucks. So, you know, it's a few things in this game that you wonder why they left out when it should be there. But, you know, at the end of the day, does it ruin the experience? Maybe not for a lot of y'all. And I'm not going to say it really ruined the experience for me, but it's still shit that made me go like, man, how the fuck they forget that or miss that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do like that your clothes get muddy and, you know, you leave tracks when you slide down the mud and shit like that. I do like all that shit. But, you know, it's whatever, man. It's not a huge deal, but it's just some things I noticed. But other than that, man, I think the game is. I mean, if you have a PS4, you should definitely if you have a PS4, you should definitely have this game, right? Especially if you're one of them people that's like, oh, PS4 hasn't had any good exclusives in a while, or there's been a lack of exclusives or things like that. If you are one of them people, you should definitely have this game. But even if you're not, if you have a PS4, you should play this game. You should play all of them. You should have the Nathan Drake collection too. You should play that. Because, you know, in order to really, like, understand maybe what I'm saying or really get the whole gist of the story, you should play all the games. But, you know, a lot of people didn't. As I'm seeing, you know, as far as like comments go, people are like, oh, this is my first Uncharted game. You know what I mean? So they don't really understand a whole lot of this game. But, yeah, if you got a goddamn PS4, you should have this game, dog. I mean, I don't think it's a masterpiece. You know, that's just my opinion. I don't think it's a fucking 10 perfect game or whatever like that. Not even close to a perfect game. I think the story was shoehorned in. It was like a last minute thing. I mean, they did scrap off of Amy work. A lot of people say that like the brother thing was always going to be there even with Amy. I don't know. I'm not too convinced on that because, I mean, you know, they go back to the first teaser trailer they showed.
Sam, give me a hand with
And you do hear this guy. He never says his name, and they never allude to it being Drake's brother. But he did say things like, you let me ride for 15 years. It seemed like Sam, if that was Sam, it seems like Sam was going to be a villain, according to Amy. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like the story would have been different. It seemed like if that was the case, it seemed like Amy probably would have went in a direction like Drake did not have a relationship with Sam at all. Like they were enemies or they didn't like each other. I mean, even if you go back to Uncharted 3, this is why I think that the whole brother thing didn't even exist. Because if you go back to Uncharted 3, you know, Marlo did an extensive background check on Drake. And, I mean, she even found out that Drake wasn't even his real name. But never did she mention anything about a brother. Surely, you know what I mean, due to the thorough background check that she did on Drake, surely she would have known he had a brother. I mean, she was talking about a lot of shit. She would have known he had a brother. Now, on Uncharted 4, they try to clean it up by saying that all his files or whatever got erased or he got erased from existence because of how he acted or whatever like that. But that's just a clean up to make it seem like, you know, the brother was here all along. But even she didn't even mention anything about the motherfucking brother. That's why this story just, while it's a good story for what it is, if I want to connect this story to the rest of the other 3 games, the story, you know, it just feels tacked on. It feels forced to me coming from the other 3 games. Because this guy just came out of thin air. Like, this whole brother thing pretty much feel like it came out of thin air. And that's how I feel about this story. And that's why I don't feel like this story is, like, so great. You know what I mean? I think it's a good story, but I don't think it's like amazing, like the second coming of fucking video game storytelling and shit. I mean, Neil and them are able to pull it off because they are good at telling stories anyway. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm just not like blown away by this story and shit. You know what I'm saying? Due to the whole brother angle and all of that shit. That's why I'm not really
pirate captain
pulled into it. And then I don't like the way they executed it. Like after Drake found out the truth about his brother, he just didn't really show too much anger. Like, he should have been pissed off. After Drake found out the truth, he should have been pissed off the rest of the game. Like, there should have been a moment where he even thought if he wanted to continue to even go save his brother for the bullshit he did. You know what I mean? He should have been pissed off for the rest of the game. Elena should have hated this nigga. You know what I'm saying? She should have, like, been disgusted by Sam. But, you know, none of them showed any really anger towards Sam. They kind of just, like, got over it, like, fast as fuck. Like, if you think about what Sam did, that was crazy. You don't do that to somebody you love or whatever like that. You don't pull them out of their, you know, happy life back into this bullshit of almost being murdered or almost dying on several occasions. And then when you find the goddamn treasure, you only take a couple of coins? Like, what the fuck?
Looks like we're not the first ones here.
Like, when you walk up to this part right here I'm at right now, right? When you walk up, you don't see no cigarette on the ground burning. But then all of a sudden, for story purposes, now there's a cigarette on the ground burning. Like, shit like that, they need to, like, do a better job at executing. They could have did that from the rip. They could have been like, oh, as we walked up, the cigarette could have been seen, and they could have been like, oh, I don't think we the first ones here. You know what I'm saying? And then they could have carried on, and then the guys could have dropped in. But when you first walk up, clearly there's no cigarette on the ground. Clearly. And then all of a sudden it magically appears. Like, you need to execute this shit better. You know what I'm saying? People that are actually paying attention to the story, this type of shit is what tarnishes a story, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm playing these games, I'm really paying attention to what the fuck is going on. Because that's what I'm supposed to be doing, right? At least that's what I thought. You know what I mean? I thought I was supposed to be really paying attention to what's going on. And that's what I'm doing. I'm really paying attention to what's going on. And of course, you already know I'm paying attention to detail. So when I first walked up the second time, you know, I'm playing through the story, I definitely looked to see, was there a cigarette burning on the fucking ground? No cigarette burning on the ground. You understand? No cigarette burning on the ground. So it's like, yo, they need to execute this shit better when they telling stories. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I know some of this don't bother people. I know how it is when you're a fucking fanboy. You overlook a lot of things. A lot of things you just let slide just because you love Naughty Dog so much or you love the game so much. But I'm not one of them people, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's only a matter of time before I'm going to get to the point where I start seeing the game for all its fucking faults. Like I said, my first playthrough, rose gold tinted glasses. All I was just like, oh my God, it's amazing. I mean, a lot of the time I was just caught up on the graphics. But once I got past all that, I really started looking at the game for what it is. And I'm seeing a lot of plot holes and a lot of things
Let's hope so.
kind of out of whack with the story, man. And that's when I really felt that, that's when I really felt the disconnect with the story on my second time through. And that's when I really felt that the story was just kind of like forced. Honestly, I would have rather seen Amy's interpretation of Uncharted 4. Now that the game is out, I wish that she would like release the direction that she was going. I would love to hear where she was going to take the story. Because, she did Uncharted 2, she did Uncharted 3, and she was going to do 4. So I wanted to see. I think the game would have came together a lot better with her vision of Uncharted 4. I really wanted to see where she was going. I feel like a lot of things were changed. This is the 4th fucking game, right? So I feel like a lot of things were changed, and a lot of that Last of Us type of gameplay was brought over to Uncharted, and you shouldn't never mix the two. You dig? I don't think the two should be mixed. They're both great games on their own. Last of Us is amazing on its own. Uncharted 2 and 3 were fucking amazing. 1 was great on their own. So I don't think the gameplay of each game or the style of storytelling should have been mixed when it came to Uncharted 4, because they definitely were. You know what I'm saying? Of course they were. So I would have rather had Amy vision of Uncharted 4 than Neil and that other guy. I don't know the other guy's name, but he's really not really in the... Well, I don't really see him that much. I mainly see Neil. So I would have rather had Amy's vision of this game than theirs. Like I said, it's a good game. You should definitely play it. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a good game, but if you're invested in this story as I am, then you probably will see a lot of faults. Or if you just one of them fanboys, which a lot of y'all are, then you probably overlook all that shit and you don't care. You know, that's cool. You know, everybody got their own opinion. Everybody enjoy the game in their own way. Me personally, that's just my opinion, and that's what I'm sticking with. You know what I'm saying? It's a great game. It's definitely probably, so far, it is a game of the year contender. What people got to understand is what I'm saying is that it's not like this super masterpiece. Like, you know, you ask people about this game, they fall out on the floor. Oh my God, this is just, oh my, I've just never played something so amazing in my life. Like, no, nigga. Uncharted 2 and 3, in my opinion, were better games. They were games that I could play for, multiple times and never get bored. Just never get bored. Enjoy myself every time. So, yeah, that's just how I feel. I think those games were better games. You know what I mean? Besides, of course, this got better graphics and, you know, all of that shit has been, you know, turned up a notch. But it is on the new console, so it is the first game on the next gen console. So, you know, that goes without saying. You dig? But yeah, that's my thoughts, man. That's pretty much my review / discussion with this game. Whatever like that. I think it's a good game, but I don't think it's a masterpiece. If I had to give, I don't even give game scores and all that shit, but if I had to give it a score, I would say this is about an 8, maybe an 8.5. And that's pretty much also due to the multiplayer. Listen, say what you want, the multiplayer is part of the full package. You know what I mean? This is not a single player game only. It's a single player with a multiplayer. Multiplayer game is garbage. You know what I'm saying? Straight garbage. I do hold like a 2KD on the multiplayer. So, just so you know, I am a beast at the multiplayer. Yes, I am a beast. So before you say I don't like the multiplayer because I suck, I'm nice. Believe that. I'm nice at that multiplayer. And it sucks. Naughty Dog is not good at doing multiplayer. They're not. You got Uncharted 2, which was a good multiplayer, and that's it. That's it. Uncharted 3 multiplayer was garbage. Straight garbage. And The Last of Us, I got like a love and hate relationship with The Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? But that multiplayer, sometimes I like it, sometimes, and most of the time I hate it. So, and then you got Uncharted 4. Naughty Dog are great at single player games. They're great. But when it comes to multiplayer, garbage. They need some help. That's all I gotta say. They need some fucking help when it comes to multiplayer. The multiplayer is garbage. So for that, I would give this game like a fucking, I would give this game like an 8.5, something like that. You got to throw in the multiplayer because it's part of the package. And you can make yourself feel better and try to act like the multiplayer don't matter and all that. Listen, it's part of the package. Garbage. And that's just what it is, man. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. What am I doing? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's just what it is, man. Get up there, bitch. That's just what it is, man. To me, the multiplayer is garbage. I could play about a couple of games and then I'm done. As soon as they start that fuck shit, a lot of people are starting to adapt a bunch of bullshit. People are starting to get more hip, like everybody running heavies at the same time, running around blind fire in the pistoli. Yo, they really getting on they fuck shit, man. Like straight up, they really are getting on they fuck shit with that game, that multiplayer, dog. So, I mean, if you enjoy it, you know what I'm saying, you know, knock yourself out, man. But me personally, I fucking forgot which one I got hit first. I think it's Scorpio. Yeah, it's Scorpio. Me personally, though, I'm good. I'm good with that. But anyway, that's my review on this game. I like the game. I think it's a great game. I think you should definitely play it if you got a PS4. Do I think it's a system seller?
Okay, moving on to the next one.
Damn. You know, that's a good fucking question. That's not something I really have thought about. Do I think it's a system seller? That's something I have not thought about. I don't know, man. Is it a system seller? If you don't have a PS4, should you go out and buy one just for this game? So if you don't have a PS4 by now, then chances are you don't give a fuck about a PS4, right? If you don't have one by now. So, if you don't have one by now, chances are you didn't give a fuck about a PS4. And should you go get one just to play this game? I don't know, man. That's something I haven't thought about. That is something I have not thought about. I don't know, man. That's a good fucking question, though. So, by now, if you don't have a PS4, you didn't give a fuck about having a PS4. But, now that this game is out, should you go buy a PS4 just for this game? Whoa, that's a dilemma right there. Should you go buy a PS4 just for this game? That's a good fucking question, man. That is a good question. Damn, I don't know, man. Shit, I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't really say. I don't know. Should you go get it? See, this is the thing. With me, the story is not that great. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are blinded by the graphics. I think that's like the main thing with a lot of people. Like, have anybody really given this story any thought? Especially if you played all the other games. Are you just blinded by the way it looks? Or have you really thought about what we were presented here with this story? You know what I mean? That's the thing. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like if you are a graphics whore, then yeah, I guess this would be the game that you would want to fucking play. And then if you never played the other stories, then this story won't seem so out of place as it does with me. I don't know. I can't say if it's a system seller or not. I don't know. I mean, you know, once you beat the game, that's it, unless you can get into that garbage-ass multiplayer. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the game itself, if you're going to play on like moderate difficulty, then the game itself is not going to be long. Probably be about like 12 hours, something like that. Probably be about 12 hours if you play on what is that? Moderate? Something like that. You would get more time out of it if you played on crushing. But like I said, if you ain't into that multiplayer, then you only got the single player. So is this worth buying a whole console for just to play a 12-hour experience and that's it? I don't know, man. I don't know. Would be kind of, I don't know. You might be a little bit disappointed once it's all over. I don't know. I can't say. I can't fucking say if it's a goddamn system seller or not, dog. I feel like if you ain't bought a PS4 by now, then you probably don't give a fuck about PS4. And I don't think this one game right here is going to make you all of a sudden give a fuck about PS4. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, dog. I don't know. I can't tell you that. You know what I mean? You gotta make your own motherfucking decision on what you think is a reason why you should buy a PS4 or not. I can't tell you. Straight up. I mean, I can't. All I'm giving y'all is my opinion. I can't never tell you what the fuck you should fucking buy or what you should think is great or anything like that. All I can do is just give you my opinion on what I think about the game. People want to know what I think about the game, and that's all I can tell you. I can't tell you what to go buy. I can't tell you if you're going to like it. I think it's a cool game. I think you would enjoy yourself. If you never played an Uncharted game, I think you'll enjoy yourself. If you've been crying about a lack of good games, I think you would like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's going to be something that you have to figure out, man. Straight up, man. I don't know. But is it a system seller? I would say a system seller would be like a game that has like an extensive multiplayer or something that you're going to be playing for a long time. That's what I would say like a system seller is. Something a game that's going to give you hundreds of hours worth of enjoyment. That'll be a game that's worth getting for a console for. Not a single player game. I don't think a single player game with a fucking with a 12-hour campaign is the reason to go out and buy a fucking whole console that obviously you didn't want to begin with. I don't really think so. That's just my opinion on the situation. Now, if it was like this amazing multiplayer and you potentially can get like hundreds of hours out of the multiplayer, then yeah, that's a fucking system seller to me. But just a 12-hour campaign, you know, you can stretch it a little bit more if you up the difficulty. I don't know. I don't think so. But anyway, yeah, man, that's my review for Uncharted 4. I think it's a good game, but I just don't think it's anything amazing or fucking a masterpiece or anything like that. I think there are some games that are coming out this year that could potentially be better, like Mafia 3 could be better, could possibly be better. Horizon, if that comes out this year, could possibly be better. Battlefield 1, but not, Battlefield 1, that's more of a multiplayer game. I already know the multiplayer gonna be better than this shit. Gears 4, that single player could possibly be better. I doubt it. I doubt Gears 4 single player would be better, but there's a chance. There's a chance that it could be better. We'll just have to see, man. We're gonna have to see, man. You know what I mean? I just don't think this is automatically game of the year, though. Like, come on. Motherfuckers already crowned. This is game of the year. There's nothing else this year that's gonna come out that's better. But it's over. It's over. Like, nah. I don't really think so. I think we do have some other games that can possibly put this game to bed as far as story. Maybe not graphics, but as far as story goes, yeah, I think so. Anyway, that's my review, man. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments section. I'll probably never do a live review like this again. I don't really like it. Just gonna be real with you. I don't really like this. Because it was kind of difficult trying to play the game and get my thoughts out at the same time. So I probably will never be doing another live review again. Because I don't like it. Yeah, man, I don't fucking like this shit. So yeah, this is a one and done thing right here. I don't like it. I'll never do this again. I would have rather just did it the regular way, the old fashioned way. And I could have got my point across a lot better. So if this review sounds a little off and a little fucked up, I apologize. It's my fault for doing it live. I don't like it, and but I'll deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, forgive me. Forgive me. But anyway, Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. I definitely won't be doing this format again. I'm not a big fan of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this. But yeah, I'm gone. It's your boy Hard 8. Deuces.